Let me tell you something. Fluid art is not about just throwing a bunch of shit together. I'm going to be doing my scoop and fold technique today. Before we get started, a couple things that I wanted to go over. This is my fluid art notebook. And because I do a lot of trial and error before I do a full-on painting, I like to take notes. In my notes, I have the pouring medium I use, the consistencies, densities, specific colors, what went well, what didn't, and what could go better for the next painting before I do a bigger one. This here is my practice canvas. Isn't it gorgeous? But obviously not. This is just a practice canvas. But this is the canvas that I use for, let's just say, for instance, I want to do a swipe and I want to see how the cells are going to turn out. I want to see maybe the thickness of the lacing. I'll lay out the colors and I'll do a practice swipe just to see how it's going to turn out on a bigger canvas. And if there's anything that I need to change. Now for the painting that I'm about to do, I practice on this canvas, as you could see right here. Promise you that's not how it's going to turn out. But it's crazy how different the painting can turn out based on the order that you layered the colors in. Let me go over my colors. I'm going to be using fluorescent red, orange, and yellow by Liquitex. Now I know these are pretty dense paints and I don't want one color to take over the others. So I also chose Liquitex Mars Black and Titanium White, which are also both dense paints. Now, if I were to use, a different brand of black, for instance, by let's just say Artist Loft, that one is not very dense. So I know the black would probably take over all the other colors. So these are all equal in density. And my goal is to have an equal distribution of paint, probably a little bit less of the orange. As you can see, I mixed 2 cups of the fluorescent yellow because I know this one right here is the most dense and I want it to show more. I'm also going to be adding a little bit of iridescent, which I'll get to later. Let's get started. I have my colors ready. I got my iridescent ready, which I will get to. I got my surgical tools. Now for when you're doing the scoop and fold technique, you want an angle like this because the paint is going to sit at the top before we scoop and fold. Same thing with any tool you use to do this technique. And I have my notebook. Now, I experimented with this on my practice canvas and I wrote down the order that I want the colors to be in. It makes a difference, believe me. My paints are mixed with 1 part paint, 2 parts Floetrol. You want a thicker consistency for this technique, otherwise it might get a little too muddy. Okay, so this is my color order. Okay, now I'm gonna layer the paints like this. Okay, and I'm gonna start right here, and I'm gonna leave just enough room at the edges. Now you don't want to go through all your paint all at once. Okay. Now I have a note here for the yellow because this is probably the most dense of all the colors. And next to yellow, I have more! Exclamation point. Okay. I want to try to get it as even as possible. I don't know how many layers I'm going to do yet. Okay. Next is black. And I want just 1 thin line of the black. And the reason I'm using black and white is because I really like to have a lot of contrast in my paintings. Okay. Okay, and red. Now you want to go through all the colors that you mixed. I mixed about a total of about 30 ounces of paint. And that's enough to cover the entire canvas as well as the sides. Okay. Oop, more yellow. I'm also using more yellow because yellow is the color that I want to show up the most. And this is also, as I said, these are all blacklight colors. And I'm going to show you the blacklight result at the end of this video, so keep watching. Okay, yellow. Okay, and black again. Okay, and orange. I don't want a whole lot of orange. I just kind of want just some hints of it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of orange. All right. Okay, and I got these laid out. Start again. White. Also know, whatever paints touch the canvas first are probably going to be the ones to show up when you finally do the scoop and fold. I love this technique because there's so much room for error. If you don't like something, you can just scoop and fold over it. It's cool. Definitely, you want to go through all the paint that you used. Gotta have enough to tilt off. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna start with my right hand. I'm gonna scoop and fold from right to left, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start right here. Okay, now remember, you wanna get as much paint as you can on that palette, okay, or whatever tool you're using, okay? And when you scoop and fold, you want to completely flip this over like that. One quick, swift movement, okay? 1, 2, and 3, okay? Now, paint that you have on here, you're gonna scrape it on the sides, just like that. This is going to get messy. Don't be surprised if it gets messy. It's a messy art, okay? Okay, 1, 2, and fold. Ooh, cool. See what I told you? I love the yellow and the red together. Okay, let's do it again. Now, I'm seeing a lot of orange right there, and I said I don't want too much orange. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start about right there. Okay, and not get as much orange on that palette. 1, 2, and 3. Always scoop and fold over areas you don't like. Okay. One, 2, scoop, and fold. Well, shit, I got it all over the floor. Did I not just say it was messy? Yeah, it's indeed messy. Okay. Let's do one right here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we get a little part right here as well. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh, get this right here as well. Why? No, actually, I have limited space on this side now, so that means it's time to turn the canvas over. All right, so let's wipe off some of that black. Too much black makes things muddy. I think it's one of my favorite things about this technique is just seeing all those cool lines just to kind of start blending together. Such a different effect than when you first lay out the paints. 1, 2, and 3. You are going to get a lot of bubbles with this because, yeah, when you scoop and fold, the paint layers over the other paints, and oxygen gets stuck in there. Air bubbles get stuck in there, and yeah, then you get bubbles. I'm going to add my iridescent. Now with the iridescent, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add this just on the edges. Also want to mention one more time, when scooping and folding, okay, You're gonna start like this. You don't wanna be like this, okay? You don't want the palette to be perpendicular to the canvas. You want this to completely flip over and go across, okay? Otherwise, you're gonna get little more droplets. So it's not scoop and drag, scoop and fold is the technique, okay? There is a difference. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm gonna do a couple more with the big tool. And we start about right here, okay? All right, I got a little bit more black there than I wanted, so, and I'm not crazy about that. Okay, so I'm gonna put some yellow right here. Okay. See if I can get some of that yellow to show up. 1, 2. Got a little bit there, that's good. All right, let's turn the canvas over again. Get the other side. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch to this smaller tool. Because remember, everything you see here in the middle, that's gonna expand. It's gonna look bigger when the time comes to tilt. Okay, sorry. And I'm gonna start, let's see. Let's get a few final lines. Let's just give it a test shot here on the edge. 1, 2, and 3, okay. And this is good, especially if you want a particular color to stand out more. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. This part I'm not gonna start right here because this right here is getting a little bit muddy. So I think I'm just gonna, when I turn the canvas over, I'm gonna switch to this side. I don't wanna scoop and fold over that from here because it might get even muddier. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's turn it over. I could definitely see hints of the iridescent showing up, so I know that when this dries, it's gonna look really, really cool. Take your time with this, okay? There's so much room to just play, mess around and have fun with it. Let's do a little line right here. It's a good amount of yellow there, which is what I wanted, so I'm gonna leave that. I want something right there. How am I gonna do this? I think a little bit of white would actually go there. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let's see what I have left here, and if not, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the white here at the edge. Let's just see if this works out. And I'm gonna put it right there, okay? See if it works out. If not, that's okay. Because I'm still getting some cool effects. 1, 2, and 3. How did I get there? Okay. Let's do it from here. 1, 2, and 3. Now, I don't want to overdo it, okay? So now, this is what you're going to do next. All that paint that you have scraped on the sides, you're going to use that to help tilt the paint off. So, what I'm going to do, you're going to take it, you're going to scrape all of that towards the center. None of that is going to show. It's going to tilt right off when the time comes. What a mess. This is the fun part. I'm excited. Okay. And I like to get a feel for things first. Now, I do want to mention that before tilting, with any technique, there's always going to be any fluid art technique that requires you to tilt at the end. There's always going to be a pooling of paint somewhere, and you want to use that to your advantage. Depending on the technique you did, some areas, for example, like I could tell this area has a little bit more paint than all the others. So you want to use that to your advantage when time comes to tilt the paint off. Okay, so let's see. There we go. And now I'm not going to completely tilt all the paint off the canvas just yet. I want to fill as much of the canvas as I can. Okay, I'm going to go back to center. Okay, I'm noticing a pooling right there, so I'm going to use that to cover all of that. At the same time, I hope my ADD allows me to pay attention to what is going on this entire canvas. Okay. That's enough for that part, so let's go that way. I could probably tilt a little bit of that off right there. I'm gonna turn this over. I gotta get this corner over here. So I'm loving this so far. I got some very cool effects. I got a good blending of the lines. I could see that the iridescent is actually gonna pop when this dries. All right, now stay tuned for the dried result and the black light result. Here is the finished dried result. And I am very pleased with this. I love the iridescent effects in this painting. Now my goal was to get a pretty equal distribution of colors, and I'd say I accomplished that. And this here is my favorite, the black light result. In all honesty, I did not expect it to be so vibrant, but vibrancy is what I go for in my paintings, and it is vibrant. Thank you so much for watching. Any questions, comments, feedback, or Cold Stone Creamery ice cream, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments section. Until next time, bye.